I'm Christabel.
And I'm Amanda. And we are messy and we mean it. We're mommy. So today we're going to be talking about traveling.
Oh, I love this topic.
Everyone's favorite thing to do.
Now that everybody's always abroad all the time and planning your next travel, trying to get the best prices. This is not an ad, by the way. We just really wanted to talk about travels because we were on the topic of talking about the funniest travel stories. And I have this one that I really want to share. I think all my close friends know about it already. I haven't told you yet.
No.
We're going to get to that later on in the episode, but I assure you it's funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a question about traveling. Because you don't really strike me as this kind of girl. But would you ever backpack?
Me? I used to.
Huh?
I wouldn't say backpack, but I used to, in my 20s, love to travel a lot. But you know, when you're in 20s, you don't really have much like money. So I used to plan trips that could cost less than $500. So I wouldn't say that I will stay at some hostels. But most of the regions I traveled to didn't really have very high like costs, for example, for accommodation and all, or food. So I took budget, stayed in hostels, I went to like places like Laos and all. So the cheapest accommodation there was like less than $100. Then sometimes I would overnight at the airport and things like that. And it was an adventure. But if you ask me now whether I'll do it again, I'm probably not. But back then, I mean, it was pretty fun, you know? And it was quite an adventure.
I think those kind of travels are like fine when we're younger, right? I've never backpacked. Would I backpack? Not now, but when I was younger, yeah, most definitely. I most definitely would. So what is your traveling style then?
Currently, it's comfort. So when I get to travel and it's not for work, it has to be just entirely comfortable. So I don't like my days too packed. I like to go to places where I know I'll feel relaxed. So I don't like to go to like places like New York or places that are too crowded like Taiwan. I mean, I might, but I feel like when it's too filled with people and my job already involves me like being surrounded by so many people, I just want some peace and quiet.
Right. So you stay away from like cities.
Yes.
You gravitate more towards like countryside, beach.
Yes, by the water or like
snowboarding,
in the snow.
You do that quite a lot.
Oh, love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. What about you?
My traveling style is probably quite similar. I love to just chill. But what I like to do is like just say there is a restaurant that I really want to try. Maybe I'll book it out for like one night. But I don't have like a packed schedule. I don't like that either. I usually leave it free and easy. Maybe 1 or 2 meals, I would like make a reservation because, you know, some restaurants are hard to book at the last minute. But for the most part, I will make a list of must-see places and try to fit it in the schedule. But it's not like 9 a.m.
It's like when you don't see, it's also okay lah.
Yeah. Like probably prioritize the list. You know, what is more important, what I really want to see. And then if there are some spots I miss out, it's okay, you know.
But in the past, do you feel like traveling as a lady was dangerous? Or were you always feeling really safe in all the different countries that you've gone to?
No. I mean, I wouldn't use the word safe at all as a solo lady traveler. I think there are definitely some things that we have to be aware of. Just aware of your surroundings. Don't be too trusting of people. I think that's a really important one. And let someone at home know where you are at.
Just when to find my friends.
Thing
on your
I was
phone
just gonna say let your friend
useful.
track you. Yeah, just let your friend track you. Or just say, for example, you're taking a Grab. Send your friend a Grab number. Screenshot. You know, the information, there's like the driver's details there, the number, and I mean, just little precautions like that. I think that help.
When I used to travel alone, what I would do when I was in a Grab, right? Like for example, whenever I'm in Europe and things like that, I will like pretend to call my friend. So what I'll do is that I'll be like, hey, I'm in the taxi and the car plate number is who, and currently I'm going home from where. So I think when you are informing somebody where you are and what as much information as you can, it actually makes it a lot safer for you as a lady. And I realized that has helped me a lot. I mean, I come from a family where my dad is super paranoid about safety. He's that kind that puts plates at the door. I'm serious. He takes a plate, you know, your tea, like the teacup, the plate, right? The saucer. He puts it against the door in an angle that as long as the door moves, the plate will crash to the floor and break. Then he'll put it, when we have Airbnb, he'll put it at the windows and all. So I come from a family like that. So I've learned so many tips that, yeah, makes me feel really safe. But I think many of the girls who are traveling for the first time don't really know many of these tips yet. But I think one place that's really good to get all the tips is from TikTok. There's so many tips on TikTok. Yeah.
I mean, TikTok's the place to be. I mean, I get so much on my parenting tips from TikTok as well. Who needs school, right? Maybe I have TikTok.
There's also these locks that you can buy, you know, that you can lock your Airbnb door with a separate lock from the inside. So yeah, just find on Shopee and things like that. There's all these knickknacks that you can buy to make yourself feel a lot safer. I mean, obviously on top of like dressing well, depending on which country you're going to, not making too much eye contact, you know, just keeping to yourself. Do not wear flashy things when you're out. Try to hide your bag underneath your trench coat. Like little tips like that can actually keep you
I
really
think that's
safe.
a big one. Like, don't leave your things lying around.
Yes. In Singapore, you're like, never mind. You know, you can just put your phone like that.
Yeah, I noticed that in Singapore, a lot of people get their things stolen when they go traveling, like because they just leave their phones and they leave their laptop, they just leave their bag, leave their passport. So I hear of a lot of stories from Singapore of people just losing stuff when they travel. But in Malaysia, we don't leave our things lying around. So I think we already have that instinct in us not to... Yeah, I think in Malaysia, we have to build an instinct to protect ourselves. I definitely did that. I don't think you know this story, but when I was 16, I was actually attacked. Yeah, on the road. My parents also don't know this story because I hid it from them.
In Malaysia?
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I, we were walking, and this is just a housing area, suburbs vibes, right? We were walking to go see our friend. And then on the way back, there was like this motorbike that drove past us. 2 seconds later, they drove back and they were next to us, 2 guys on a helmet. And everything felt like slow-mo. I could see them lifting their arm and like going towards my friend's neck. So they were gonna like strangle my friend. Then my girlfriend and I were like, what the hell? I took my phone, I took my money, and I was like, nah. Ini duit, ini telephone, you ambil, you take my phone, take my money, right? They ignored me. I think they wanted to take one of us to like, I don't know, do what. And then we kind of like started screaming, asking neighbors for help. And then people would come out. And then this helper came out and she was like, just standing in front of the gate. Then we're like, tolong, which is help, right?
Yes.
Then she's like, tak boleh, mum tak bagi. Like, my mum don't allow. So we were just like, shit, never mind. Then we just ran. Then we said, let's go to that cafe. There's a cafe at the top. Then my friend got loose. Then we started running, 3 of us. And then they got on their bike again, chased us. Then they got a hold of my other friend. And then so happened a car drove past. And then as soon as the car came, I think they got scared. So then they ran off. And then this young guy came out with his dog and was like, hi, I heard you guys screaming. Do you want to come inside the house for a while? So we went inside the house. We were so shook. We were so traumatized. But we knew we couldn't go to the police because the police ain't going to do anything. They don't care. Yeah, we were supposed to go out that night. We ended up not going out. We just sat in my friend's house because we were having a sleepover. Slept in my friend's house and we couldn't sleep. Like when we heard motorbikes, we wake up. So for a good few years after that, every time I see a motorbike, my first instinct is to go like that. Yeah, and like let's say I went to Bali, I would go to Bali. I will carry a stick if I'm walking, so like I can like, yeah. If like a motorbike comes, I was traumatized by the sound of the motorbike. If they're really close or like the lights of the motorbike, I can see it coming. Then my first instinct is just turn around.
That must be so traumatic.
It was very traumatic, and I couldn't tell my parents because my parents would not comfort me. I didn't think my parents would comfort me. I felt like they would give me shit for it. So, yeah.
Like, why are you out so late?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
you're not
that.
supposed to do that. We weren't supposed to do that. We were supposed to be sleepover. So I could not tell my parents.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that it's not, it's not the safest, but also at the same time, I wouldn't wish this on anyone, obviously. No, we shouldn't have to go through this to know how to be more aware and, you know, of our surroundings. But I think we have to learn really, really hard lessons in Malaysia. So when we go traveling, it's really quite like, okay, like I know I can see that this person might have like weird intentions, so I'm gonna like stay away from you kind of vibes.
Wow. How long did it take for you to get over the fear?
Maybe like 4 or 5 years. When I was like mid-20s, then I kind of go over it. It's okay now, but I still know like when a motorbike comes by, I just like don't
like
stand
shun
near.
away.
Yeah, I will make sure my bag is not there. And because Malaysia, we get a lot of snatch thefts as well.
Yeah.
So we know not to like just leave your bag like that.
Do your parents know now?
No, they will find out. Yeah. So, I mean, those are the things that kind of help me adapt to the world outside, and I understand that it's not safe everywhere else in the world. Only Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore.
Oh.
What?
When I first moved to Singapore, right? Then when we go out at night, I'll tell my girlfriends like, hey,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell her, hey, when you go home, you text me. And then she's like, why am I going to text you? I'm home. But in Malaysia, we text each other to make sure everyone's home, everyone's safe. Yeah, no Grab driver like abducted you. You didn't get kidnapped in the middle of the night. You're not like in a longkang, you know, drunk somewhere. But in Singapore, yeah. And then sometimes I'll have to like text them, like, are you home or not? Are you home or not?
Yes,
like
yes,
scared, you know, scared.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we first like got close, she kept asking me, are you home?
Yeah.
Are you home? I'm like, then you know, sometimes when you go home, then you sleep.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
You only
Then the
reply
next morning, I'm like, Belle, are you home? Then she's
then,
like,
then she
yes.
sometimes gives you missed call. And I'm like, then I didn't understand why, because it's so rare, like so bizarre to me. Right?
Yeah.
So then the next day she'll explain, she's like, oh, you know, I come from Malaysia and it's actually not very safe. And I just felt that was very sweet. And I realized that a lot of my friends now do the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot more. Like,
Yeah.
please tell me when you're safe.
Yeah, so I guess these are values or even practices that we can use when we're traveling, you know, just make sure everyone's in their room safe, you know, in bed safe. I think that's just really, really little things that we can make sure, okay, everyone is okay.
Like when I go overseas, sometimes I would just push the chair against the door, or like the additional like sofa or something like that. If I'm staying alone then that's what I'll do. I'll always make sure that the place feels like there's more than one person. So whether it is I leave some lights on or some music on, things like that. So people don't know that you are alone. You know?
Yeah, I think that's also a good one, because you might make yourself like very vulnerable to people who are trying to with ill intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also now with social media, right? When you travel, a lot of people like to post in real time and be like on my solo travel and things like that. But I feel that, you know, there's something that I wouldn't do, because I will be informing so many people that I'm alone in this country, how long I'll be there for, and in which areas that I will frequent.
Isn't that what happened to Kim Kardashian though? That's how she got robbed, right? That's how she got robbed in Paris, because she was like doing her stories in real time. And, you know, back then when she was married to Kanye and during the era, she was really flashy with her diamonds and everything, her grills. So she just made herself a target. It made her a target. I don't want to victim blame. Obviously, she's not to blame, but it made her a target to all these like robbers in Paris. They just stormed into her room because they knew she was there, tied her up, and like took her diamonds.
So as we are talking about messed up, let's go into the messy mill, shall we?
Okay.
You want to read this one?
Okay. Dear Amanda and Christabel, I, 34 male, mistakenly sent a heartfelt love letter meant for my crush to my boss, turning my workplace into a tangled web of awkwardness. What would you do? Oh man. I mean, that's
How
funny.
do your boss treat you the next day?
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mistake. Doesn't make you a bad employee. You just apologize and say, oh, it was meant for someone else.
Oh, wait. Is this person that you have a crush on in the same company? Ah. And then you address this person, but you instead send this to the boss. So the boss now kind of knows who you're interested in. Get what I mean?
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. I don't think the boss is going to do anything. It's not like the boss is going to tell the guy, hey, this person has a crush on you.
But it does feel awkward lah. I will feel really awkward. Like, oh, now my boss knows who I have a crush on.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, what if it's like the same team member or like the girl that's sitting across the room,
And like my boss knows my deepest, darkest feelings.
Yes.
Like,
And like, I have a question. Do you like your boss or not? Like, is it like a close relationship or the kind of boss that you would, after work, go to your friends and be like, oh, my boss is so mean. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but honestly, I think just laugh it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that serious. I think it's quite funny. Yeah, I mean, we all have crushes. Makes us human. You didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't make you a bad employee or anything like that. So
I think I'll ask myself, in 5 years, will it matter? And if it won't, then you should try your best to like laugh it off and don't focus on the fact that you have sent this mail and things like that. It's actually quite funny. The next day, or immediately after, I'm sure you jumped and be like, huh? So I think it's nice to laugh about, and the awkwardness will go away. So don't worry too much about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think your boss will forget lah eventually.
Okay, since we're on the topic of traveling, I wanted to ask you, what's your funniest travel memory? Funny. Like you got lost or... Yeah, like what is the funniest?
There was one time my group of friends and I, we went to Vietnam. And in Vietnam, no good stories start like that. So when we arrived, I went looking for Vietnamese coffee. I love Vietnamese coffee, right? So yummy. So we stopped at a cafe, like a Vietnamese coffee cafe. And then next door to it was a pharmacy. I don't know whether I should reveal this, but I won't say who is there. I won't say who is there. All my friends were lining up with me to get coffee, and then one by one they slowly started disappearing. So after I got my coffee, I stood outside and then I saw them all coming out from the pharmacy and I was like, what's happening? They all got strips of Xanax. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? By the third day, they're like, we're out of Xanax. They went to get more Xanax at the pharmacy. And it was just the most confusing thing ever. Like, how do you finish strips and strips of Xanax? Apparently, they were just popping Xanax in Vietnam. It was an adventure. My friends are crazy. I don't take Xanax because I don't want it to mess with my mood and stuff. Yeah. And at the end of the trip, everyone was so moody. Like, they were complete bitches, horrible people. And I was like, well, you guys ruined my trip. But because Xanax is legal in Vietnam, you can just go into the pharmacy and pick up Xanax. Yeah. But I mean, everywhere else in the world, you have to get a prescription. But apparently in Vietnam, you can just get Xanax just off the counter. And yeah, I don't know what to make of that story. I don't know whether it's funny, but it's just like, I don't think I will ever forget this trip. Yeah. It's so messed up. Like, why? My friend was such a bitch to me at the end of the trip because she was coming down from the Xanax. Because your mood fluctuates. It will affect your mood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I don't know why people take Xanax like that. I mean, maybe it calms them down, anxiety or something. But if you take too much, that's what happens lah. So don't go to Vietnam and buy Xanax and do that.
Now I know not to go.
Yeah. My friends are crazy. Okay, how about you?
Mine is the complete opposite kind of story. So, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like the best travel story that I've shared to all my friends because it's so funny.
What?
So it concerns a bird. And normally have you gotten shat on by a bird before?
Yes.
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 How many times?
Twice.
Twice, on different occasions.
Yes.
Have you got shat on by a flock of birds before?
No.
What's happening here?
No.
So, I went on a trip to London and then you can drive out to this place called Bath, right? Where you can see the Roman bath or something like that. Back then I was hosting a travel show and I had this one jacket that I loved, okay? Is this like green khaki jacket. And back then, the wool kind of hood was very popular that you have to cover and it has the nice hood. Yeah, I loved that jacket. So we were doing a day trip out. And I was just like, hey, you know, everybody welcome to the Roman baths and things like that. Then we got the earphone things that you can listen to the history. Then
like the guided tour.
Yeah, the
things.
guided tour thingies, right? So the Roman baths had 2 levels. Okay. So I went to the 2nd level early and I wanted to like take a look at the scenery and things like that. So that's when shit happened.
Literally.
So I was walking out of to the balcony where it's open air, and I was one of the first few to head out. There was another family walking towards me and going back in. Then as I was looking at that family, I turned my gaze towards the floor, and I saw on the floor there was suddenly like water splatters, which seemed like rain, but I'm like, it's not rain because it's brown. I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, the splatters came closer to me. Like, it was like a pop, 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 pop kind of thing. So I was in the line of fire and then it reached me. So everything happened in slow motion. And it just went like that. And it started raining upon me left and right. Then the people around me were just going, and then I was like, oh. It took me like about a split second to realize that
What
I was
was
being
happening?
shat on.
Oh my
By
God.
a flock of birds. Yes. I know.
Wait, so the birds were on the tree or the birds were
I
flying?
have no idea. My eyes were on the floor.
Right? Are they like, ooh, like taking a shit while
like
they fly?
how can a
does that
flock of
happen?
birds decide to shit at the same time? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Is it possible for a flock of birds to shit at the same time?
I don't know.
Because I have no idea how that happened to me. And it cannot be one bird, you know what I mean? It was like explosive diarrhea, but it was like a lot.
I don't know who else has been shat on by a flock of birds. I legit
I have
don't
never
know.
heard about it. But the thing is, could have been a big bird that decides to like,
How big is it? How big is it?
I have no idea. I didn't look up anymore. I was looking down. It was just brown
Yeah, if she
everywhere.
looked up, then the shit will be in her eye.
Yes, it really was like, imagine just coming closer to you, goes pop, 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 and then you just on top,
girl.
pop, 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 pop. Yeah.
But at least you had a hoodie.
No, I wasn't wearing it.
Oh.
It was down like that. And then I was like,
Okay, but you know what they
standing
say,
there
like
this.
if you get shat on,
Yes.
it's good luck.
I know, right? I couldn't buy 4D because I was in UK.
Ask
So I was like,
someone at home to buy.
Damn. It was the start of my day as well. Then I still remember the family just stopped and stared at me with their shocked faces going. Then I turned around to my friend. I'm like, I think I need to go to the toilet. And she's, yes.
What do you do after that? Do
So
you
I
go home
went
and
to-
shower?
Oh, I couldn't because we were so far out, right, from London. So I went to the toilet
That's the
and thank God
worst.
the girls were so sweet in there. One girl was like, I can help you wash your jacket. Come wash your hair. Mind you, my hair was filled with shit. Okay?
I know.
So I was washing my hair in the sink.
I kena shat on once and it's really hard to wash it off.
Yes. Never mind, this one's wet.
No, mine also wet.
Oh.
Mine also wet. It was like here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had to put my hair in the sink and like wash it. Then you know they have the dryers, but it's not the Dyson kind. It's the kind that has the circle that you press and it goes on this like little spout. It goes boom. I have to be like that there. Then I had to dry my jacket. So it took me about an hour. But the
Damn,
girls there
girl.
were so sweet. They were so helpful.
And you don't know them? You didn't know them?
No, I didn't know them at all. Then they were all helping me. But I still smelled really bad after.
See, here's the thing, right? Okay, it's not really related to this, but I feel like girls are so like loving and kind in a toilet,
Yes.
right? There's
Yes.
this like unspoken rule when you go inside the toilet, and it's like you're just the nicest to each other. Like, do you need lipstick? Do you need lip balm? Do you need a tampon?
Compliments galore.
Yeah, compliments. Oh my God, I
Yes.
love your dress.
Yes.
I love
Your hair.
Yeah.
Your eyeliner so nice today.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
We should hang out in the toilet more.
Yes. But yeah, so I spent the whole day really smelling very bad. And I still had to continue hosting for the whole day. So
Man. Oh yeah, you have to work some more.
Yes, I was
That's so
working.
horrible.
Yeah.
So
but I mean,
uncomfortable.
it's a story that now I can always tell because it's really funny. Who gets shat on by a flock of birds? You tell me? And it was, I still remember, it was like light brown. This is my favorite like color of ice cream. I like chocolate ice cream. It was exactly the same.
Oh, okay. Now that we've talked about the worst, let's talk about the best. What is your favorite travel story? Vacation story?
My favorite vacation story always involves people. Doesn't matter where I am. It's the company or the new people that I've met on the trip that like makes it a lot more fun. I don't think I can think of one trip that I love. But I love spending time with my close friends and getting to know them better after the trip. But I love getting to know the locals. So there was this one trip that I made to Raja Ampat where we had to stay in a homestay where there was no electricity, nothing. We had to bathe with like this buckets of water. And it was so enriching, but I haven't been back since. You stay with the locals, they cooked all meals for you. And the waters were really pristine. We were there just to showcase what Raja Ampat is. So basically a lot of people go to Raja Ampat. It's a diving spot, cluster of islands in Indonesia. And also cross with the Papua region. And it's so untouched. Like the corals are pastel. You've been there, right?
No, I want to. It's on my bucket list.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, back then I couldn't dive. But if I could have seen so much.
Can you dive now?
Yes, I can.
Dive trip!
I'm actually really scared of diving. So I don't think I took my license, but I'm the kind that feels really claustrophobic in the water. I don't know. But I know you love diving.
I love diving. One of my favorite things to do. But my favorite place that I've ever been to is actually Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think we've actually spoken about
Yes.
this. So I went to Turkey for my honeymoon and we went to 2 spots. We went to Istanbul, the city, and then we went to Bodrum, which is like a beach near the Milas area. And the water there is just different. The sun hits different. But what I really, really liked about... So that was more like a vacation, right? It was like beach, holiday, like really relaxed, tan, and like go to the spa kind of vibes. But in Istanbul, it was more city. So we did some sightseeing, you know. But what I really, really loved about Turkey is its culture, or more specifically Istanbul. It's like the hub of where so much history has been made, you know, so much culture is there. I think it's the only country in the world where it's in Asia and Europe.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's an Asian side and then there is Europe side.
So is it starkly different or?
Very different.
Oh.
Yeah, very different. Even the cultures are different. Even the people are different. The European side is obviously more liberal. And then you have the Asian side. We stuck mostly to the Europe side. We went to the Hagia Sophia, which is now a mosque, but it started out as a church. So it's really cool because you get to see how 2 very big religions kind of like very effortlessly exist together, right? So it's a mosque now, but you can still see like the mosaic tiles of like Jesus and like the fish motifs, you know? And no one takes it down. No one is offended. No one is like, oh, you know, how can this be? This is a mosque.
Oh, that's nice.
But there's also like the Jawi writing on the ceiling, and it's just very, very beautiful. Again, also the people that we met. So funny story. My husband met now one of our friends, you know, we still keep very much in contact with him, in a hammam. So a hammam is a traditional Turkish bath, right? You go in and they scrub you. Like they scrub and you are completely naked. Yeah.
What
you
do they
like,
use to scrub?
No. Do you say tea? No. Like a towel. They use towel.
Oh.
So
I don't know, Scotch Brite, you know, that kind.
No. So this goes back to like, I don't know what civilization, like, you know, which civilization. This has been a practice that the Turkish people have been doing for decades, centuries, you know. So you go in, you strip yourself naked, and then they run a bath over you. You have like this, it's separated by gender.
Yeah.
So I'm in the female side, John is in the male side. Naked, there are all these like women who are just there to enjoy themselves. They will shower you. You don't have to lift a finger. And then they will scrub you. And then they do this thing where they like... Okay, so I'm just waving my arms. I'm just waving my arms. And then they create bubbles. And then they use the bubbles and cover your whole body. And it just feels like you're like in this bubble cloud, and then you're just sitting there.
And then when the bubbles start like fizzing out, it has
and
this
then you can
tingly
feel
thing
it.
on
Yes,
your hands.
yes. And then you just look at the marble. Everything is marble, and it's
Is it
so
cold
beautiful.
though, when you lie down on the
Not really, because the water is warm. So the water is heated up by a furnace
Yeah.
from a traditional furnace that has been built there since the beginning of the hammam. Since they built the hammam, which was like, now I can't remember the year. So that was my experience. It was really, really dope. But John was on the male side. And then this was after they finished their treatment. They were just sitting there having tea. So there was this common area that you would sit around in your towel. So John was just sitting there in his towel, and there were two men opposite him. And then one of them started striking a conversation with John. And then we became friends after that. We started having drinks. They would actually come and visit us in Singapore. Right? Whenever they come to Singapore, we would take them around, take them out to eat. One of them is an American guy. He is from Philadelphia. And the other guy is a Palestinian guy. So he moved to Turkey like when there was unrest in Palestine. This was like, I want to say 3-4 years ago. And so apparently how they got acquainted was one of the guys said to his friend, hey, look at this Chinese guy with all these tattoos. Do you think he's either a rapper or he's from the Yakuza, right? So that's how they became friends. And I mean, that's what I enjoy about traveling, you know?
Yeah.
Even though, okay, so in Turkey, we would make friends with the locals, but I think there was definitely a bit of a language barrier, right? But this guy, he travels to Istanbul a lot, and the Palestinian guy also lives in Istanbul. So they have seen a lot lah. You know, their stories are very unlike ours. So it's like, is this nice to meet people from places that we might or might never go to? But is this nice to meet people and share experiences, you know, and view it from a different lens? And
I like how
really
it also makes you
appreciated that.
feel really small in this world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And to realize that there's so much going on, and what you experience is only a very small part. And it's not, and the realities of so many other people that we meet by chance can really humble us so much. And I think that's what I love the most about traveling.
You know what really makes me feel like that? Like what really humbles me is diving. The first time I went diving, I was just in awe of the ocean, and I was just in awe of what the world has and what the world has to offer. I mean, I think only like 20%, okay, don't quote me on this, but like a very small percentage of the ocean has been discovered. There's still plenty more for us to discover. And it's just so humbling to know that, like you said, you are just a little speck in that space, you know, and to really just take it all in and embrace it and just be an observer for once, instead of, you know, thinking that, oh, I'm this person, I want to do this, I want to do this. It's just nice to take a step back and observe and see the gorgeous beings of the world.
I think when you dive, you relinquish all
Control.
You know, you have to really learn how to go with the flow.
Yes.
And in life, I think because especially like from Singapore, right? From young, they tell you need to hustle. What's your next goal? What's your 5-year plan, 10-year plan? Like, it's very hard to go with the flow, because if you go with the flow, nothing will work. Like, nothing will move fast enough. But when you travel, when you meet people, when you even go diving, you are forced to be out of your comfort zone and in a space that actually helps you reset. So I think that for me is what travel does. And I think if you are the same, you want travel to enrich you and all, I would highly suggest, you know, going for things outside of your comfort zone.
I think there's definitely a difference between traveling and vacationing. I love both. Not gonna lie, I prefer vacationing, because who doesn't? But I think they both benefit you. You need everyone needs a vacation, you know, to relax, to wind down, to really like just take time off and be zen. Whereas on a vacation, you know, there are things to see, you know, you want to immerse yourself in a culture, you want to talk to people. It's there's a bit of work there when you're traveling. And when I go on my holidays, I like to do a hybrid of both. Yeah, so like, you know, one day there'll be a spot that I really want to see. But one day, you know what? Like today is like a F all day, I'm going to the spa. Right? Yeah.
And today I feel like checking out that cafe. Okay, I'll just go there.
Yeah, like there's a cat cafe that I want to go to. Yeah. So it's really been a while since I've been on a girls' trip.
Oh.
Yeah, the last time I went on a girls' trip was during my bachelorette party. Yeah. And that was like 5-6 years ago. How about you?
I go on a lot of girls' trips. The most recent one, no. Was it?
Oh no, that's a lie. I went to one before I found out I was pregnant. But actually I was pregnant already during that trip, but I didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were drinking a lot. Oops.
But really, this is a story that a lot of my pregnant friends encounter. They drink a lot and they're like, oops, I'm
pregnant. Yeah.
But I've never been solo traveling, have I? Oh, I went once when I was really heartbroken. It was so scary. I don't know how people like feel really comfortable traveling alone and for like a week. Okay, some people can go traveling alone for like a week or 2 weeks. I think after 3 days, I was calling my cousin. I was like, so I'm in Poland. Would you like to take a train down because it's the weekend? And then thankfully he said yes. So I spent some time with my cousin. But I think other than that, I wanted to always try to be a solo traveler, but I feel so scared lah. I cannot.
I don't know. I've personally never solo traveled before. I've gone to a destination, but because that was when I was studying and I was alone, it's kind of scary. My first time to America, to New York, and I was like 18? Yeah, my parents were like, yeah, okay, bye. And yeah, I was so new to the city. It was New York. I mean, like, of all the places to let your daughter to go alone, it was New York. But I mean, I survived it. You know, I locked my doors. Make sure no one is following me. Don't go out late at night.
Yes.
Don't go into alleyways, you know. Yeah, but I've never like solo traveled per se. So I can't say much about solo traveling. But I do love girls' trips though. And the one thing that is my next goal is there's like Girls Gone Wild. I want to do a Girls Gone Mild. So like read a spa, like wake up, go for breakfast, then you meditate, then you go to the spa, then you nap, then you spa again. How does that sound, Belle?
Sounds nice. Oh, a perfect place for that is Korea. There's this jjimjibang thing. It's like similar to the one you had in Turkey, but a bit different. So you go there, you apparently go to the saunas and all, tie your hair up in this really cute bun, eat eggs. I don't know, I'm just getting all this information because I watch a lot of Korean dramas, but I've never been there. But apparently you can spend like hours there.
That is similar to one that John mentioned to me about. So there's China. They have all these spas that you pay one fee.
Yes.
Then you go in, then there's food.
Yes.
Then you can sleep there.
Yes.
Yeah, you can massage. It's like, yeah. I think it was called Queen Spa or something like that. It was in Shenzhen. And like ever since John spoke about it, my husband's name is John, I just really want to go.
We should make some plans
right?
to go. Yeah.
Like
and just do nothing.
Yeah, Girls Gone Mild.
Yeah. I think at this age,
maybe a cocktail lah.
A cocktail would be nice.
Or a wine. Yeah.
But I think in that kind of environment when it's really warm, you can't really drink because I think it would just shoot right up to your head.
Okay, coconut juice.
Coconut juice is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after that, then we go for drinks.
Yeah.
Sounds like a perfect day.
Yeah.
We're planning our trip in front of everybody.
Then we go swimming. Then we go under the sun. Yeah. Then we can go jet ski.
Oh, that's
Look at me planning our trip.
Good job.
Yeah.
No, the China one, apparently they can also like clean your ears.
The ear candle.
No. It's like the digging of the ears thing. Yeah. So sometimes you like to travel to these kind of countries because you have all these services. They are just like so... What's the word for it? Shiok.
Shiok.
Yes.
Shiok.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Satisfying. That's the word for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would love to. I think this year there will definitely be more travels. Do you have any travels coming up this year?
This year, I have a trip planned for the middle of the year. I will probably reunite with my friend from New York, somewhere in Europe. Then we'll just probably like drive around,
Oh, that's nice.
go to the winery kind of thing.
But-
I've never been.
To a winery?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
in Australia I did, but in Europe, not really. So, I mean, if you guys have any like suggestions on where to go, I'm welcoming all of these, but I've never been. I'm very excited. I want to go to like the Champagne region. I love Champagne. Apparently there are many maisons there also. You can visit, try out like the small batch champagnes.
Ooh. Maison is a? What is a maison?
It's like a house.
A house.
Farm.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with wines. Like, I guess that would you say that is your dream vacation?
Because it's slow.
Right.
You're surrounded by nature. It's cooling also.
Yeah.
And you're with good friends. Yeah.
Well, I just described to you my dream vacation, so you
Yeah,
know.
she's a paradise kind of girl.
Yeah, I'm a beach spa kind of girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of her favorite places is called the Datai.
Yes, the Datai in Langkawi, it's so great. But it's so expensive. Huh?
Okay, now I think one fun thing that I want to talk about is like crazy travel stories.
I thought we talked about this.
No, we had like funny. Now we got crazy.
Okay.
There was this once that I almost died. I think that was a crazy one.
Okay, tell us more.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I love sharing my traveling stories. Okay, so I was at Raja Ampat. So just now we spoke about Raja Ampat being really nice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, almost like lost my life.
How?
So we were there to film a travel show. And back then there wasn't much information online about it. So I made all the bookings online based on what I could find on Google. And I booked the homestay. So the problem wasn't the homestay or the place itself. The problem was getting to the homestay. So Raja Ampat is a cluster of islands, and you have so many different islands, right? And you have to land at this place called Sarong, the airport. I did not know that, number one, ferries do not operate on Sundays. I booked my departure on a Sunday. My arrival was somewhere within the weekday, and I realized that if the ferry was full, it would leave. So I didn't have a ferry there, and I didn't have a ferry to leave.
So you had to stay the night?
No,
in the
I
port?
had to charter a private boat.
Oh.
And by what I mean by private there, it's more of like wherever
Sampan.
that you can find and at whatever price.
Right.
So we paid so much. We paid $1,000 just to get to the location.
But Raja Ampat is a luxury diving destination.
Yes.
That's why also.
So we shared with this other like Caucasian family, and we took this boat to our different like respective homestays. So because we really were desperate to get there and it was turning dark soon. Then,
But did you pay for it, or the travel channel pay for it?
So the travel channel eventually paid for it, but I still had a budget to work with. You know what I mean? And we couldn't be stranded in Sarong anyway because there wasn't much like available there. So long story short, we got there, but my only issue was coming back. So coming back, we realized that there was no ferry, and I had to take the flight out from Sarong to Lombok the next day. So the homestay people were like, okay, never mind, we'll arrange a boat for you. But because they are like all small little islands, you had to get fuel from this other island, bring it back here, get fuel from another island, bring it back here, and fuel the boat. Okay? I think on hindsight, not too sure how they progressed with it, but we had a small boat. So you know that kind you take out when you go diving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the
it's not
speedboat?
speedboat, but with a little bit of a hood. So the journey, if I took a ferry, would take about 2 hours to Sarong Airport. This took 7. Because it was a small speedboat.
Oh, girl.
On top of that, the waters there were not the safest. So sometimes the height of the waves could be as high as like the boat or even higher. So much so that sometimes, right, I saw flying fishes flying through the waves to the other wave. For the
that's
first time in my
beautiful
life.
though.
It's very
That's
nice, but
beautiful though.
when you're there,
I would.
half about to puke, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of all
yeah.
the choppiness. I think it wasn't very fun. On like hour 2 or 3, we were at the base of the boat already. We couldn't sit on the ledges because it was just so choppy. We were lying flat on the boat. And then the top part of the boat, because of the wind and all, started ripping. So it's flapping in the wind. And I remember telling myself, maybe I should start singing some hymns and praying that like we make it through. And just nice on that trip, I had my childhood best friend with me. She was sitting at the foot of the boat, and I was like, yeah, at least there's her, you know?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
At
least you have each other.
Yeah, we have each other.
Yeah, and die together.
But she was also equally nauseous. Then she was at the front of the boat. And I was just praying the whole time. So at one point we had to stop because we had to use the toilet. Then we went to some random island and just stopped there. And everybody threw up. It was just that bad.
Even the staff?
No, they didn't. And I tell you, I really have no idea how amazing these people were. But one guy, the skipper is at the front of the boat. Front. But I don't know. They were both standing up for the whole 7 hours. I don't know how they do that. They're just holding like a rope and then just like steering the boat. And as like the currents come, they just like moved with it.
They're all seamen lah. They're all used to it.
I know. And there you have like all of us like throwing up all the time.
Yeah.
But the crew was so nice. And after they alighted us, the entire part of the top part of the boat was gone. And they said, bye, we're going back. I'm like, huh? 7 hours again? They said, yes. And we were in the ocean that you cannot even see land. And the waves were so high, fishes were like flying everywhere. And I was like, I don't know, I felt scared. And I thought that I was going to lose my life. I mean, by the time I exited the boat, I was drenched from head to toe. Then my ears had like so much sea salt like in it for the next few days. But I was just very happy to be alive. It was a very humbling experience. Will I do it again? Probably not. But yeah, my 20s, man. Like,
no, the ocean is definitely a scary place. It's very beautiful, but also like it's it's temperamental. Like don't
makes
mess.
you feel lonely when you cannot see land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're out for too long.
But that was scary. Oh, and also the fact that there were only 4 life jackets on board and there were 8 of us. Yeah, so I was like rehearsing, in my head, like, back then when you learn swimming, how to tie a knot and you have to blow air into your pants so it can float and blah, blah, blah. I was trying to rehearse that in my head. But I know that if I panic, then yeah. So yeah, it was a scary experience. But next time if I go back to Raja Ampat, I'll probably do the live aboard thing where you have an entire like ship that you can live on, then you travel to different islands. That might have been a better
okay,
option.
The thing with live aboard is like you can get sick. So my biggest fear is that you get sick.
Oh.
From the motion sickness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
I don't know. Do you get motion sickness?
Yes, all the time. So I always prepare different things. Like for example,
There's a pill you can take.
Yes, there's the pill. There's also the band that you can wear.
Does it work?
Yes, it does. So it presses at this acupoint. You can wear it on both arms. You can also buy like sour plum kind of things to like nom on or like ginger peels. All these help. But I think the main thing is just don't stay indoors. Try to always look far. Stay outdoors. Do not take things that make you nauseous, like fizzy drinks. Yeah, things like that. All these help to mitigate it. But I mean, if you have to throw up, you have to throw up. There's nothing you can do. Last time when I went to see like dolphins, because dolphins are very active in very choppy waters also. There were buckets around for everybody to throw up. So I think it's part and parcel. But if you want the experience, you have to go through it. It's called, I had this conversation lately. They said this is called type 2 fun.
Type 2 fun? F-U-N?
Type 2 fun. So that means you only look back and realize it was fun. But when it happens, it's not fun at all. And you want to like abort mission, you want to leave, you want to bail. But all these activities are classified under type 2 fun. Like for example, climbing Mount Everest, like to base camp.
Bungee jumping.
Skydiving. All these are type 2 fun where...
Are you the type to go bungee jumping?
No, I won't bungee jump, but I did skydiving.
How was that?
Oh, I
wanna
told
go
you before
skydiving.
this.
No, I
Did I
don't
tell you
remember.
this story?
No.
My pictures turned out so ugly. It was bad.
Like
no.
her face was probably like
No,
from
that's
the
okay.
wind.
That's like a facelift, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have really nice bungee jumping photos. I mean, not bungee jumping, like skydiving photos. They look really cool and all. Then when I look at mine, I did it in New Zealand, by the way. It was so bad. I have no idea why. I had this cap that was like this red cap that like really plastered down towards the side of my face. The goggles that I was wearing were like cone shaped, so it popped out like like. Okay, I should share the photo with you guys.
Yes.
If you wanna see, you can head on over to our YouTube channel. Like you can see the photos. I think I'm finally at peace to share it. And every single photo, like sometimes they'll take you like jumping off the plane, right? When you zoom in, my goodness, I look so bad. Nothing was nice to post. And in the plane itself, they gave me like this breathing respiratory thingy because we were so high up in altitude, and they asked me to take a photo of it, and I was like, it was not nice. So,
Okay, I want to see it.
yes, it's funny. Oh, I should show you.
Yes.
Should I show now? Come. Yes, I know. It's under my favorites because it's a type 2 fun key memory. Hang on. Are you ready? Which one do you want to see first? Okay,
I want to see all.
I'll show you the breathing tube one first. Okay. Okay, Ken. Okay, so this one was us going up. So I'll show you the nice one first, okay? So this is the nicest photo that I have from my skydiving trip.
Okay.
They allow you to ride.
Oh, is this your New Year's resolution? Be brave.
Yes, back then. Yeah.
It's here in writing.
Yes. So this was the tandem dive guide that was going on with me. He is really nice. Okay. Then after that, as we climbed higher, so there were 3 altitudes to choose from. And me being me was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'll just do the highest one.
Psycho.
Yes. So I went there, and then they started giving me this oxygen tube. Can you see? Yeah, I don't know whether this was part of the protocol, but you can see that he had his own tube and it looked really aesthetic.
Yeah,
and then
this
there's
was
me.
better than yours.
And this was me jumping out of the plane. Looked like I did not enjoy it one bit. But it was fun. And then that was my skydiving. Will I do it again? Definitely. But I wouldn't bungee jump. And I was just telling my friend the other day, I said, when you skydive, you have the air pressure against you that actually makes you feel quite stable. And surprisingly, it wasn't that scary. And you were gradually like descending at a really like constant speed.
So the scariest part is just jumping off?
Yeah, but with that also, you have absolutely no choice. Because you're riding tandem with someone else, right? So he's the one deciding when to jump out of the plane. So you are just...
But was your heart beating really fast?
Yes. I told him, wait, can we count down? You know, but they have to jump at a certain altitude at a certain spot.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can do. And
Were you screaming?
yes, of course. That's why I look like that in the photos.
Right. Oh my God. I don't know if I'll ever skydive. I mean, maybe skydive, but definitely not bungee jump. I am
yes.
afraid of heights.
Same.
Yeah.
And the thought of being alone bungee jumping is so scary.
Do you know how I found out I was afraid of heights? Do you remember that trip that we met in Langkawi?
Yes.
That was the first
the
time.
flying Hanuman?
The sky track. It's
Yes,
called
yes,
sky
yes.
track. Yeah, that was when I found out that I'm actually afraid of heights. Yeah, like when we went up, then when we were walking up, I was like, haha, I think I'm afraid of heights. But when we reached the top of the tree, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely afraid of heights. So I held back the line for like half an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. That was don't do
But
that.
you finished it in the end?
I finished it because they forced me to.
Oh.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me back out.
Yes. You couldn't like climb back down.
No, they wouldn't let me. Yeah, so I don't know. I think if I really want to go skydiving, I have to think about it properly lah.
Yes.
Right? Because you come back out.
It's really it's really high. And especially like it doesn't hit you until they open the door and the wind keeps gushing in. And the doorway is like at the side of the plane, right? So when they open it and it swings open, it's just like, oh shit, you see everything below you. You realize how high you are. It's scary.
Before you go on, do you have to pee so that you won't pee up there?
Yes. So I went to pee. I prepped, I psyched myself up. They had all the safety briefings and stuff. Yeah. Basically, long story short, stay with your guide. He's your way of living.
he's
Your
how
only lifeline as you make your way down.
Yeah, he's the only way you'll survive this.
Yeah.
Oh
but
my
now,
God.
on hindsight, type 2 fun, really good. I'll definitely do it again.
I'll think about it, Belle. You didn't really convince me.
Sorry, I should have shown you nicer photos.
Okay, so I mean, I think we're at the end of this episode. So let's wrap it up nicely. What is a happy mess that happened to you this week?
A happy mess. I think this week I found a lot of clarity in terms of how I want to be moving forward this year as a person. This year I want to find out what makes Belle happy. You know, like outside of work. I've always been very work driven. I'm quite a workaholic. Many of my friends can attest to that, but I feel like this year I want to find out what Belle likes outside of work, what really makes Belle happy. And I would call it a happy mess because it's really a mess. I have no idea where to start, what to do. But I know that as long as I keep going forward and trying things, I will build a better relationship with myself and also with those people around me.
That's a nice sentiment to have for the week. For me, my week was a complete mess. So we were in Singapore with the baby, and this time it was just both of us. Because sometimes we bring a helper or we bring the nanny, but this time it was just both of us. And I was really happy and proud that I managed to do everything by myself on time, because my husband was just really, really busy at work and it was just not within his capacity to be there. But yeah, I mean, it is a true challenge lah. Any parent would know, you know, to be on time, to get your kid fed on time, shower, sleep and milk and all of that, right? But yeah, when I did it, I was pretty damn proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Yeah, a lot of shit, a lot of pee, you know, a lot of messy stuff. But hey, I did it. So that was my happy mess this week. Yeah.
So remember to follow us on our socials. It's MummyPod,
MAWMIPOD. And every 2 weeks, we will be posting on our stories for you guys to, you know, kind of tell us what's happening in your life. We call it Messy Mail. So we would really, really love to hear from you. You know, just click on the link, let it all out. Tell us what's been on your mind, what's been in your heart, you know, what's been on your shoulders. We're here. The mommies are here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until the next episode.
See
Bye.
ya.